Hi there, it's me, Teacher Mike from Phuket Pals. Today I'm going to teach you how to pass the GED test without studying. Or perhaps I'm not. Because, in my opinion and in my experience, people who say they have done this are either one, telling lies, or two, perhaps have scored. If they've passed, they might have a very strong academic background, because GED is a skills-based test, and maybe they went in there with a very strong reading comprehension, etc., and math skills, and did get a score. But I can guarantee you that they did not get as good a score as they could have done if they had studied effectively with GED practice papers and things like that. So I just want to kind of put this one as a warning here today, because I've been through lots of Facebook videos, I've been searching things on Google, and I've found quite a lot of people who are mentioning this very term, and it kind of shocked me a little bit, because here at Phuket Pals, we're a GED testing service authorised test prep partner, and we deal with this test all the time, every day, and this test is definitely not to be sniffed at. This test is tricky. You have to work hard. It requires, grade 12 levels, skill levels in reading, writing, speaking, mathematics, science, etc. And we just need to be careful with what we read on the internet, because sometimes it is a little bit off the mark, let's say. Now, think back at school. Think back when you went to high school. There was always someone in your class who did really well, but claimed to have never opened a book. I remember very clearly in my school back home in Ireland, I remember the very face of this person. It's a long time ago now. And he always claimed that he did not do one thing, but he always got A's or A stars. And I thought, how does he do this? The fact was he was opening a book. He was a pretty smart guy to begin with, but he was studying secretly. And there's so much bravado with young people and young adults. It's cool not to do work very often among certain groups. But my advice for you is, don't be like this, okay? Life's too short. You want to get ahead. You want to figure out the strategies that you can take and implement to get the best score in GED for you and your future. Okay, so what can we do then to push ahead with GED and do the best for ourselves that we can? Well, the first thing is we can plan effectively and don't cram too much. Okay, so plan, don't cram. Now, I understand that cramming it works for some people sometimes with certain types of exam. Okay, so let's say a more traditional exam that you do at school. It could be a history exam in which you have to name off maybe a timeline of events, excuse me, in the Second World War. And you spend your time learning the dates, the names, and all of that because you want to repeat it in the test. Well, in that case, cramming can work because it's easy to remember things in the short term. But with the GED test, this doesn't work because it's focusing in more on higher order thinking skills, okay? Skills of inference, skills of finding out the reader's purpose, using graphs to interpret certain things from a paragraph or certain data. So you can't just, these are higher order thinking skills that we need to sharpen. How do we sharpen them? Well, we need to practice. Okay, and we can't practice them the night before or the day before or anything like that. So it takes a longer period of time. The absolute minimum period of time for a high-level student I would recommend for GED studying is 1 month, and that's for a very high-level student. Usually someone who's around 18 or 19 minimum years of age, and they've already finished high school, but they want GED maybe to go study abroad or something like that. I actually do a video on our YouTube page about my 30-day preparation plan for GED. So I'll put the link in the video below for you if you're interested in that. So what I recommend is, as I say, plan effectively and don't cram. You need a study timetable. You need to set aside the same hours each day, if you can, to sit down with a test prep book. I recommend the McGraw-Hill one. I recommend the Kaplan test prep book. You can use these test prep books to give you the different strategies and different approaches to questions that will help you in the real test. Also in there you've got pre-tests and post-tests, which are very, very useful. And also you've got very realistic end of chapter questions that test your content knowledge in relation to these higher order thinking questions as well. So that's all in there. On top of that, what you should be doing is also focusing big time on skills, not details. Okay, so some students fall into the trap when studying for GED, especially social studies and science, of trying to learn all of the details and remember all of the details. You do not need to do this. You need a general overview of the details, but it's more about your reading skills, your levels of your comprehension, your reading comprehension skills. Okay, now in the GED test, they're hitting it at grade 12 level, so that's a Lexial level. A Lexial level is a comprehensive, how difficult a reading text is. Okay, so the higher your Lexial level, the higher the level of difficulty. GED, in the science test, RLA, all of the tests, you're hitting around well over 1,000, up to 1,200. So it's tough, dense text, and you have to train yourself to be able to read this type of text and excavate the correct type of information from it and infer from this type of information. So how do you do that? How do you sharpen these skills? Well, you can use Newsela. Newsela is a free, just go to newsela.com. It's a free tool using current affairs and non-fiction texts. I've actually done a screencast video talking about how to use Newsela before, and I'll put that below this video as well, and you can have a look. So I won't bore you with all the details in this particular video, okay? But have a look at it. It's really, really interesting, and it will help you a lot. This is highly recommended. I actually recommended this to a group of teachers as the best free teaching website on the internet quite recently. So that's a big recommendation for Newsela. So get in there and check it out, and check out my video as well. The second thing you can do is look at Read Theory, readtheory.com. Now, I haven't done another video on this, but I will in the future. I've been using readtheory.com for years. It's cool. It's free again, and students go in, they create an account, and they do what's called a pre-test, which is 8 questions based on 8 different passages of reading. Once they've finished that, the algorithm of the website will locate very accurately their level of reading, their grade level of reading, and their Lexial level of reading. Then you start the proper program, and it gives you an article. It could be non-fiction, it could be fiction, and then after that you get a series of usually between 4 to 6 or 7 questions, and these questions all tie into the Common Core initiative. So it's questions like you get asked in the GED test, because it ties into the Common Core as well. So things like the writer's purpose, inferring the main idea, the central idea of the paragraph, all things like this, okay? Or it could be vocab based. You'll see, get into readtheory.com, and then tell me what you think about it, okay? Tell me what you think about Newsela as well. You can comment below this video. I guarantee you'll think it's great. If you think it's really, really good, just let me know. I'm always happy to hear. So stick a comment below the video, if you will, and we can start a conversation. The next thing you can do is focus on strategy, not shortcuts. So focus on strategy for GED, not shortcuts. I've been in the GED game for a long time now, and some students do approach me. Students will say, I've been on the internet, I found out these tips and tricks to, score very highly in GED. I don't need to do a course, I don't need to be taught, I don't need this, that. I have the tips and tricks, 1, 2, 3, here they are, for each subject. It's very difficult for me to be, with these students, I need to be honest with them. The internet is just awash with tips and tricks for every single academic subject, every single test that has ever existed and still exists. Tips and tricks, secret sauce, secrets for blah, blah, blah. It's minimally helpful at best, okay? With the GED test, you need to sharpen your skills through things like Newsela, things like Read Theory, through your test prep books, and also through GED Ready and other practice papers, practice tests. Tips and tricks will not get you through this test. It's skills based. Okay, so you need to read a lot. You need to practice a lot. Just having the top 5 ways to succeed in GED social studies. This will not get you through the test. It may get you a couple of points higher, but it's not going to get you your absolute best score you can get. So get into what I'm talking about here. Get into the nitty gritty. Get into the meaty stuff. Do yourself a favour, get a study timetable, start studying really, really hard, and also I advise you strongly to get a good GED tutor if you can. Here at Phuket Pals, we're a GED testing service. They're the guys that make the test, GED.com. We're a GED testing service, authorised test prep partner. So we're authorised to tutor people on this and deliver quality programs and coach people about GED. So if you want to contact us on our Facebook page, Phuket Pals, or you can leave a message below this video, we can get back to you and then arrange a Skype one-on-one. Or if you're in the area of Phuket, you can come in and see us in-house and we can help you, really as quickly as is possible, get the highest score that you can get. Okay, so that's about it for today. Be aware, this is the final lesson, be aware when people say how to pass the GED test without studying. Unbelievable, okay? So that's it from me, Teacher Mike from PhuketPals.org. There's plenty of links today below the video, check them out. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell, all that stuff. So thank you very much and have a good day. Bye-bye.